So today's class is going to focus on the core, and we're going to be integrating the core in some interesting ways. Instead of like our common crunches, we're going to have a lot of contralateral movement, so crossing the midline, and also integrating the side core. So we should feel really strong and integrated throughout class and then for the rest of your day. So with that, we can begin. If you would like to just take a quarter turn to the left, center yourself on the mat so you can lay down. And we will be rolling off the mat towards the screen. So if you need to adjust your yoga mat so you've got a little space to your right-hand side. And just do a little test. Reach your right arm out and make sure it is reaching towards me if your space allows. And then come to center, close the eyes, make any adjustments with the arms and legs so you feel really spacious here. And then allow the breath to help you find some inner softness. Imagine the breath traveling through all of your inner space, drawing your attention into the present moment and helping you start to feel what is available to you today. And perhaps as you focus on the breath and the body, you notice how much energy might have been in the mind. Maybe not, but I know that's often my experience. Just, finally, I can let go of all those things, all of those distractions, and really feel what is real. And it's so much more vast than whatever great ideas are happening in my mind. So just take the next several breaths to become more present physically. And as you do that, maybe you also become more present mentally, emotionally, energetically. And it's very common for people to favor their inhalation. And so take a moment to just let the breath slow down without any gripping or without too much control. Slow the breath down and bring extra awareness to the exhale. And as you start to favor the exhale, notice that quality of softening that's available as you exhale. Imagine the exhale helping you release the thoughts, release physical tension. Release any expectations so that you can become more and more in tune with the present moment. As you become more present, give yourself the permission to make little physical adjustments. If you notice tightness or discomfort, or even you just have curiosity of what changing your foot placement, bending the knees, rolling the back of the head, give yourself that opportunity to start to listen and then to respond. Empower that inner voice, the body, to guide you even more. And we'll start to add some more conscious movement to our practice. If you're following along with the playlist, you're welcome to hit play on the first track, Hercules. It's not as strong as it sounds. It's nice and chill. And then begin by keeping the arms really heavy, but slowly snow angeling the arms overhead, and bring all your awareness to your shoulders and stop at any point where the shoulders feel taxed or tight. So maybe the arms don't point straight overhead, and that's fine. We just want to feel really nice and spacious. Feel free to do that a couple of times, or just allow the arms to be heavy overhead, whatever the body is enjoying. And then when the arms do finally rest, you can start to slowly and very, very gently circle the feet. I like to circle my feet in a mirror, so they both go out or they both go in. That feels really soothing to me. And the feet can get tired and even cramp up, so let it be so gentle and so slow, as if you were relaxing on the beach and you're just digging your heels into the sand, just enjoying the warmth and the tactile sensation. And reverse the direction of the circles and start to notice how this really simple movement is impacting the entire body. And so you might notice the rotation in the thighs, a little shifting in the pelvis, an increase in the arch of the low back, and then a decrease as the pelvis presses up and down. Notice the sensation at the back of the heart. Give your feet a break at any time that they get tired, or just exert less effort, make smaller circles. And then notice the fascia. There's actually fascia around the skull. You can feel that gentle massage in the back of the skull, the occiput. And perhaps as the skull is gently massaged, you can feel the neck relax, even though it's not touching the mat or necessarily being impacted greatly by the foot movement. And then let the feet relax and become still once again. Notice any new awareness in the body, or warmth, tingling, and then come back to the breath. And just let the breath fill that space of awareness that you've built. And then slowly bend the elbows, bringing the fingertips behind the ears like you would for a crunch, but let the fingertips be very soft on the skull so nothing's gripping. Keep the left heel on the mat, but start to bend the left knee, dragging the heel along the mat, feeling the back of the left leg engage slightly, and then lift the shin till it's parallel with the earth. Slowly start to curl the right elbow up towards the left knee, and then release the head down. Extend the leg. If that feels clicky in the hip, the knee can stay quite bent, or you can extend the leg fully and repeat. So the heel drags, and then you curl up for the cross crunch, and then you release everything back down. And just repeat this a couple more times on your own, doing as little as possible. Because we are doing quite a bit of core work, try to resist that urge that some of us have to like really muscle into movements like this, and see how little effort you can apply to achieve your half bicycle. The next time you crunch, gently release the body. Keep the leg where it is. Extend the toe up towards the sky. And slowly allow the left leg to cross the right, rolling gently over the right side of the body, eventually onto the belly. And once you make it onto the belly, let the elbows come wide and slowly peel the heart off of the mat. And then release the fingertips so the arms are in a big W. Bend the left knee. And we'll do a very similar movement, but now from our belly. So the right elbow will reach towards the left glute. You can gaze to the right. And then come back to center, extend the left leg, and do this a couple of times. And so these are the same limbs that were reaching together when we were on our back, but now they're reaching together from the other side. So just notice that half X from the right shoulder to the left glute. Notice that space shortening as you come up, lengthening as you come down. The next time you come down, extend right arm, push into the left hand, slowly rolling onto the back, right back into our half bicycle where we began. But now I'll just repeat one time. So from that crunch, release down, extend the legs, slowly roll back onto the belly, arms to W, bend the left knee, and take your Ardha Shalabhasana to the right. So just take one or two more rolls like this, playing with crunching from both sides of the body. And then the next time you crunch towards the left leg when you're on your back, slowly recline, grab behind the thigh, and start to kick the leg into the hand. And just notice your hamstrings, so the big muscles on the back of the thigh. As you kick, sometimes they feel like steel cables. And so you can give them a little squeeze with your palms. And then kick a little extra and notice how that can help you start to sit up and start to rock forward and back, allowing the kicking of the leg to initiate the strengthening of the core. And once it feels comfortable, you can roll all the way up. Check in with the right leg. If it's uncomfortable, extend it. It's okay to bend the leg or keep it as it is. And we'll do a very similar action, but seated now. So just kick that leg into the hand and try to feel how kicking the leg into the hand can strengthen your core. Not by, pulling your navel in or doing something from the mind, but rather naturally feeling that integration of the leg into the core. You can even pull on the leg a little bit. That can help stimulate the core in a holistic way. And then the next time you kick the leg into the hands, pause for a moment, sit up a little straighter, and start to bend the right knee so you can tuck it under the left. Put the left foot down. Place the right hand behind you. Push into the left foot, and you'll just flip over to a tabletop. Yes, you got it. And pause for a moment. Paw out the mat. Let the hips sway from side to side. Check in with the shoulders. In fact, let's warm up the shoulders a little bit. So lower one forearm at a time, and then come back to the hands, moving really slowly so you can start to feel the muscles in the chest and underneath the shoulder blade supporting you. And then reverse directions. So the opposite arm comes down first and comes back up first. The next time both forearms are down, pause there and point index fingers towards one another, making a triangle with the thumb and index fingers, and just gently start to traction the arms back. Feel the shoulder blades wrap wide, and then push the arms forward and feel the body start to hollow out. And just play with this on your own, exploring how the dragging of the hands and the pushing of the hands correlates to the front of the chest and the back body. And then pause at center, untuck the toes, and slowly allow the hips to melt back to the heels, forehead to the earth, and just pause for a moment. And then let the tailbone get really heavy and stack one vertebra at a time. And notice as you do that how the hands just drag on the mat, slow as molasses, up towards the knees. Let the hands keep going behind you and then push down into the shins, coming up to kneeling. And so there's sort of this backward momentum with the arms. And so as you're at this high kneel, allow the arms to slowly travel back and up. And then when they're up, flex at the hips, send the hips back, and repeat. So push down into the shins, slowly stacking one vertebra at a time, allowing the arms to circle back. And just take a few like this, allowing the arms and legs to connect to your center, feeling coordinated and integrated. And the next time you slowly rise up, fingertips behind the backs of the ears. In this first round, we'll take a little extra time here because it can be tricky to feel integrated here. Tuck the toes under. Let the sits bones get really heavy. So you're not squeezing your glutes, but there's like a nice gentle tone in the glutes. Pelvis is neutral. And feel the space between the rib cage and the pelvis shorten ever so slightly. So you're in a neutral spine. And then slowly start to extend through the quads, leaning back. But the only thing changing is the opening in the fronts of the thighs. So you might not go very far. If you go far, sometimes it means we're overcompensating. So be humble. And also be careful. I get super sore when I really do this. There shouldn't be any extension through the spine here. And the next time you float up, shift the weight into the left knee so that you can step the right leg forward. Release the hands inside the foot. Separate the space between knee and foot and just take some nice, easy hula hoops. If you're hypermobile, come out of your stretch just an inch or two to integrate the thighs better into the core, and then repeat the same thing but just not as deep. Go the opposite direction. And then from center, walk the right heel back just a little bit so you're in more of a 90-90 kneel. Push down into the feet and heavy sits bones start to stack one vertebra at a time. And then lift the arms. And I'm going to turn just so you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay where you are. Slowly start to lengthen through the left side of the body and try to stay really nice and smooth and even so the rib cage isn't jutting out. Let the right arm drop. And then slowly start to lift the right arm back up and just notice any sense of integration through the left side as you do that. And just take a couple of pulses. You don't have to go very deep. If the sensation ends at the rib cage, come back up, do a crunch to the left, keep all that strength as you come back into your side bend and see if that helps. And eventually you might feel the integration all the way down into the left thigh. Just one long line along the left side. And the next time the right arm reaches and the left side of the body is engaged, let the elbows soften to a big W. Gently twist to the right and just feel the right side of the body integrate. Right? You might feel the obliques engage. You can even bring fingertips behind the ears and imagine taking a crunch towards the left knee and see if that helps you integrate the right side. And then just pulse through that a couple of times. So a different movement, right? We had a side bend on the left side, but now we're twisting to the right. And then come back to center, plant the left hand nice and wide, slide the left knee forward and then kick it through, bringing the left hip down. Extend the right leg and just pause for a moment at center, sitting up nice and tall. Can bend the knees any amount. Slowly drag the heels back, clasp the shins, and just roll forward and back a couple of times. And then recline, extend everything out, and pause on your back. Arms can be overhead or down by the sides, whatever your shoulders prefer. And there is quite a bit of asymmetry in the body right now, so perhaps you notice more space on one side, more warmth, and that's totally fine. We're going to balance it all out right now. So if your arms aren't yet overhead, take that nice slow snow angel and then reach hands and feet apart and just point and flex the feet quickly to jostle the whole body a little bit and feel the body moving, releasing tension and stagnation. And then pause. Bend the elbows, fingertips behind the ears. Drag the right heel in slowly and then hover the shin parallel to the earth and take a few slow, easy half bicycles to that right leg. And just start to feel the connections from the right thigh, right hip across the front of the body up to the left side, the left obliques underneath the left shoulder. And the next time you come down, extend the right leg and slowly cross it over the left, rolling onto the belly. When you're at center, lengthen the heart forward, just flying up for a moment in a flying cobra, and then let the arms come out to a W. Bend the left knee and slowly side bend to the left as you bring left shoulder towards the left foot. And then extend and just take a few nice, easy pulses. Again, creating that connection. And then the next time the left arm extends, push into the right hand, roll over it right back into that initial crunch. And you're welcome to take a few crunches, and whenever you want to roll back onto the belly, remember it's the right knee that bends and the left arm that side bends. Gaze to the left. And then one more time. And it's up to you how many pulses you want to take. Maybe one's enough, or maybe it's nice to walk that pathway a few times. And the next time you are crunching towards the right leg, pause there, release the body, and grab onto the back of the leg. Take a couple of kicks and walk the clasp of the hand up and down the thigh, noticing the engagement of the muscle, but also giving yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of massage. And then start to kick and allow the body to lift. And maybe at first it's just a little bit. That's totally fine. Take a few kicks and really try to feel the integration of the leg into the core. Though there is momentum and there is rocking, feel that sense of control. Yeah, nice. Next time you come up, pause, kick into the leg just to sit up a little straighter. It doesn't matter if the leg actually straightens, but just notice how the pushing into the hands and then the pulling on the leg simultaneously allows you to sit up. Try not to extend the spine when you sit up. Sometimes we arch a lot. Imagine the relationship between the pelvis and the rib cage staying the same. So just a nice, strong, even cylinder. And then bend the left knee, drop the right foot just in front of the left knee, left hand behind, and then you flip to your table. And this time, let's keep the knees hovering and play with lifting opposite hand and foot. And if that's really challenging, it's totally fine to go back to opposite hand and knee with the knee down. Otherwise, we can take a few of these cheetahs. And they're called cheetahs because cheetahs are really graceful, right? There's like a buoyancy to their movement and ease. So just imagine pawing out the mat as you do this. And then pause, walk the hands forward, one handprint. Keep your knees deeply bent, but push into the hands, letting the spine lengthen. You can allow the legs to lengthen just a little bit, but keep that bend. So there's a nice little spring for now. And then gently release the knees to the mat, hips to heels, melt the forehead. And drag the hands slowly along the mat, eventually lifting the hips and letting the hands circle back. Nice. Great. It gets easier each time, doesn't it? And then fold at the hips and repeat. And try to feel that sense of connection where you don't have to think so much about how the arms are moving, but they just start to move. And it doesn't matter if it's exactly how I cued it. If it feels integrated and interesting, then awesome. The next time you rise up, tuck the toes under. Instead of bringing our hands to a crunch, let's bring our hands to our rib cage so we can really be very aware of what's happening in the core as we start to pulse in our quadricep exercise. This is something I do for physical therapy, so I feel like, thanks guys, you're making sure I get my physical therapy in. Yeah, and notice how even though the work is coming from the quads, perhaps you feel that natural tightness start to happen underneath the fingertips, not because you're forcing anything, but just because your body is nice and integrated. And the next time you come up, shift the weight into the right leg, step the left leg forward, drop the hands inside, and then separate knee and foot so you've got enough space for the pelvis to make some nice, easy circles. Being really, really kind and gentle, avoiding any sense of stretching for now. Go the opposite direction. And then from center, slide the left heel back so you've got right angles with the legs. So a short lunge or 90-90 lunge. Roll up, big W for a moment. Let the heart lengthen upward. And then reach the arms up and start to side bend to the left. And remember, you want to feel the whole right side of the body integrated. Drop the left arm and just take a few pulses, lifting and lowering the left arm. And notice any brightness in the right side of the body as that left arm lifts. And it's totally fine if you come out of it, but I'm actually staying in the side bend and just lifting the left arm while maintaining the side bend. So that changes it a little bit if you want to try it like that. And the next time the left hand lifts while you're still in the side bend, just pause. Make sure you can breathe smoothly. Notice any sense of integration. And then let the shoulders just drip down the back. Bend the elbows, big W with the arms. And take some twists to the left. Option to bring fingertips behind the ears if it just helps you get that sense of like, yeah, I'm really twisting into my left knee. But it doesn't matter what angle your body's at. You can explore what helps you integrate the left side of the core best. And the next time you twist, pause there for just a moment. And then come to center and step the right hand down. Slowly slide the right knee forward, put the right sit bone down. And then kick that leg through and extend the left leg to meet it. And just pause for a moment in Dandasana. And before we recline, If you would like to hit the next track while you're sitting upward, grab a sip of water, anything like that. It's a little bit easier while you're up here. So feel free to take care of those things. And then we'll option grab shins or grab behind thighs, whatever you prefer. Take a couple of rolls forward and back. And then extend the body out. Let's all meet with our arms down by the sides just to give the shoulders a little break. Connect with the breath, connect with the weight of the body. Notice, hopefully, a sense of evenness, but perhaps something else is apparent. And then snow angel, the arms overhead. Lengthen the space from fingertips to toes and just point and flex the feet a couple of times, just giving yourself a quick little massage. And then bend elbows, fingertips behind ears, drag the left heel. And slowly roll up towards the left knee. Let's just take 3 nice, easy pulses. Doesn't matter how high you pulse. Just feel a sense of integration. And then extend the left leg, let it cross over. Option to take that back bend with fingertips behind the head, or just open the arms right away. On this side, we've got left knee bent as you side bend to the right. In the second round, you might be able to gaze over the right shoulder. You might even be able to see the left foot, as long as that's comfortable. And as you pulse here, bring your awareness to the rib cage and try to feel the rib cage and its connection to the pelvis. So the whole body is staying connected. Extend right arm and left leg, push into the left hand. Let's just do that one more time. Your choice whether you want to pulse multiple times or hold. Let this be your own exploration. And we'll all meet on our back, holding behind the left leg. And just take your kicks, take your time. Allow kicking into the hands to slowly pull you up to seated. And once you make it to seated, plant the left heel. We'll add something on here. Root the right hand behind you. Drag the left heel back in line with the right knee. And then slowly push into the left foot. Let the hips lift and let the left side of the body lengthen. And take a few pulses like that. So set everything down, get springy in the right shoulder, and then express the left side of the body. Ooh, Satyam just added something on that looks awesome. So we're all going to do it. So set everything down and twist into that leg and then unfurl. And it just feels like your body was made to do that. But now the right arm's getting tired. So just do it one last time. Thanks, Satyam. And then your call with the hips lifted or lowered, bend the right knee and tuck the foot in. So for an extra challenge, you can keep the hips lifted. And then slowly pivot to your table, keeping the knees hovering. Go right into the opposite hand and foot lifting for the cheetahs. If you want to walk your cheetah a little bit, it's I think it's harder, so feel free to explore that. But you do have to make your way back to where you came from. And so all meet in our cheetah. And then set the knees down. Set the right forearm down and slowly extend the left leg back, keeping the left toes on the mat. And bring a little extra weight into the right elbow and the right shoulder. And then this is kind of an interesting exercise. So we're going to hover the left leg and bring all your awareness to the right thigh bone and the right hip socket, and slowly start to engage the right glute, just allowing the pelvis to open over the right hip without doing anything with the left leg. Of course, the left leg will move, but you don't want to move it, right? You just focus on the hip socket rotating over the head of the right femur. And it doesn't have to be very dramatic. This is a great way to engage the glutes. And the next time the toes start to point down, tuck the toes under, give that right hip a little break, reach the right fingertips forward, up and back, twisting towards the right. And then we'll just do it one more time. So right forearm down, left foot hovers, slowly let the hips open. And then set the foot down, shift the weight into the left hand, and twist to the right. Plant both hands, bring the left knee in, push the hips back to the heels. Notice the difference between the glutes on the right side and the left side. And then push down into the knees, slowly rolling up, circling the arms back. And then just repeat that 2 more times. Move nice and slow so you really give yourself the opportunity to feel one vertebra at a time stacking. And then from the top, we'll go into our quadricep exercise. So the hands can stay on the core if you feel like that helps you stay integrated, or you can take any arm variation you want. It's not about depth, right? It's really about starting to feel that sense of the quadriceps eccentrically contracting. So lengthening while they stay strong. And the next time you pulse up, shift the weight to the left, step the right foot forward. We're going to skip our psoas release and go right into the side bend. So float the arms up, slowly lengthen the left side of the body, let the right arm lengthen downward, and then stay in your stretch as you slowly reach the right arm out to the horizon and then all the way up alongside the ear. And then release the right arm down. And just do this 2 or 3 more times with all your awareness on the left side of the body. Make sure you can breathe. And the next time the arm floats, let the shoulders melt down the back. Big W, twist to the right, integrating the right side of the body. And now slowly start to lift the back knee. Ooh, actually, sorry, I forgot to have you shorten your stance. So come back down, drag your right heel in so you're in that 90-90. It'll be a lot more integrated. Now twist into the right and slowly hover the left knee. And then extend both legs and reach the left arm up. Wait, let's see. Sorry, the left arm down. And we're going to repeat that a couple times. And I know that some people's knees don't like to do that too many times. So if you want to stay high and just take little pulses, that's fine. Or you can come all the way back down. But the way the arms go is as the knees bend, the left arm reaches up. And as the legs extend, the right arm reaches up. So we're still playing with those opposites. And it's really good for your brain. And so we're actually going to repeat this enough times that you can start to get comfortable with that sense of alternating. And then the next time the legs are extended, test yourself. It should be the right arm up. It's okay if it's not. And then we'll do a very similar movement, but forward. So don't worry, it'll give that back leg a little break. So now as the right knee bends, reach the left arm forward. And then extend the right leg and reach the right arm up. So knee bends, left arm forward, knee extends, right arm up. And find a sense of ease here. Don't muscle into it. Let it be nice and springy. And the next time you shift forward, option to shift the weight and hover the back foot. So same exact thing, but just a little virabhadrasana 3 prep. The next time the back foot lowers, the right arm should be up, but it's okay if it's not. And we'll actually go back to the beginning. So as you slowly bend both knees, let the left arm lift. And then extend the legs, right arm up. Repeat that a couple of times, and then you have the option to add on. So as you come up from the lunge, option to shift forward into the Vira 3. If that's too much, stay in just 2 movements. The switching of the arms is challenging, so think of it as a fun game and don't let yourself get frustrated. And the next time the back foot comes down, pause. I know that right hip's feeling it, so we're going to give it some love. Slowly start to release forward, planting the hands inside of the right foot, drop the left knee, and gently start to reach the right fingertips forward, up, and back. So you're twisting into that right hip. And just take a few nice, easy twists like this, and then you can add the leg in. So the next time the fingertips come up and back, start to extend the leg. And then as the arm swoops down and forward, bend the knee. And so there's a sense of melting through center and then letting the limbs extend away from one another any amount that feels constructive. And the next time the arm circles down, plant both hands, slide the left knee forward, set the left hip down, and just cross the right leg over the left. Take a nice gentle twist. And actually you don't have to cross. It's up to you, whatever feels most comfortable. And then uncross the legs, grab shins or thighs, and roll. And then we'll all meet on our back. And take a moment to scan the body. Notice the warmth on the right side. At least that's where I'm really noticing it. And find a little compassion for yourself. If anything feels tweaky, like you pushed it a little too far, let that be an opportunity to slow down on the second side. Do a little less. Be a little more present. And then we'll begin. So snow angel arms overhead. Lengthen hands and feet apart, and then point and flex the foot really quickly so that the whole body jostles. Letting go of any muscles that are gripping, any thoughts that are clinging. And then bend elbows, fingertips behind ears. Drag the right heel in and take your slow motion bicycles. And then cross the right leg over the body. And so it's the right knee that's going to bend. Bend the right knee, arms to a W as you side bend to the left. Feel free to pulse or just roll right on over. That's up to you. Extend the left arm, roll onto the back. Give that right knee a hug, and then grab behind the leg and just start to kick and take your time. Notice how the leg connects right into the core, right into the rib cage. And then once you make it all the way up, kick the leg into the hands and see if you can sit up a little straighter without any strain. And then set the foot down. Reach the left hand behind you. Slowly drag the right heel along the mat till the foot lines up with the left knee. And then push into the right foot to lift the hips and express the right side of the body. And then set the hips down, and we're going to add this on. Now twist into the right. Wonderful. And then push into the right foot and just take a couple of pulses, or maybe you would rather hold and move a little slower. It's up to you to honor your body. The next time the hips are lifted, 2 options: either lower to tuck the foot under, or with hips lifted, tuck the foot under and flip to your cheetah pose. And see if you can move a little smoother, little slower. Option to walk around or just stay in place, and notice how the lifting of the core is what lifts the limbs, right? As the hips and abdomen lift, the arm and leg just follow. And then pause, set the knees down, set the left forearm down, and slowly drag the right foot back along the mat. When you're ready, hover the right foot, and it's all about the relationship of left thigh bone and left hip socket. So slowly squeeze the glute and let the pelvis start to rotate open, and then allow the glute to eccentrically contract to level the pelvis. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. Make sure there's no discomfort in that left hip socket. But just try to feel a sense of control, and maybe it starts to emanate to the core. You can feel how the control it takes to move here helps integrate the limbs into the core. And the next time the toes settle down, push into the right hand, reach left hand forward, up and back. And then we'll just do it one more time. So left forearm down, take as many of these hip openers as you want. And then when you're ready, you can take the counter pose. And plant both hands, drag right knee in, push the hips back to the heels, melt the forehead, and then push down into the shins, drag the hands back, so hips glide forward as the hands reach back. And just take a couple of hip lifts here. And then choose your arm placement. Tuck the toes under. Keep the same distance between the pelvis and the ribs as you extend through the quadriceps. And the next time you float up, let the left foot step forward. Slowly reach the arms up, let the front of the body open. And then extend the arms and slowly lengthen the right side of the body so that you can reach gently over to the left. Drop the left arm and then stay in the side bend as you lift the left arm and lower it a couple of times. Next time, left arm's lifted, pause, natural breath. And then shorten the distance between the feet so you're at your right angle. Arms to a big W, twist to the left. And then slowly extend the left knee and reach up with the right arm. And then take your pulses and then we'll add on. So the next time you're lifted, bend the left knee and reach the right arm forward, and then extend the left leg, reach the left arm forward. Or up, rather. There's no right or wrong here, so you can let it be about momentum, but I like these windmilling contralateral actions. And then option to start to play with little Vira 3 preps. And the next time the right foot is down, drop the left arm, reach the right arm up, slowly bend the right knee. And then it's up to you. You can stay with the lunges. You can go back to the Vira 3s, or you can be really brave and try to do both as long as you don't get upset. If it makes you feel better, I forget which arm it is sometimes, so it's part of the fun. And the next time you reach forward, I want to add something before we come down to seated, just so slowly lower the right foot underneath the right hip, so you're in Tadasana, and just pause for a moment. Whew, notice how good it feels to stand on two legs, your strong legs and your strong core. Close the eyes and breathe. And then turn to face me, just so it's easier to see. So very similar to the lunge, we're going to do some side bends. We did this in our upper level yoga training, and it was really hard for everybody. So I think it's good homework for all of us. Slowly reach the left arm up and push into the left foot to side bend over to the right. And try to keep the curve nice and smooth and even so nothing's jutting out. And then slowly lift the right arm and notice the sense of strength through the left side of the body. Just take a couple of pulses on that side. You guys look really good. And then the next time you're up at center, push down into the right foot and drop both arms so you just get a little break. And then just notice any sense of space through the left side of the body. And then we'll balance it out. So sweep the arms up and drop the left arm. Push into the right foot to slowly and evenly lengthen through the whole right side of the body. And then when you're ready, slowly lift and lower the left arm and just notice that very subtle engagement that happens on the right side of the body. You don't need to go very far to get a lot out of this. And the next time the arm lifts, push down into the left foot, reach evenly up to the sky, and then flip the palms and slowly melt the shoulders down. And just pause for a moment at center. Then we'll turn back to the left just to pick up where we left off. So left foot forward and step the right foot back and slowly lower the hands down. I totally forgot that we did this. This is going to feel a little different because that left hip's not so tired. Drop the right knee and start with the arm circles, circling to the left. And then when you want to add in the leg extension, it's as the arm reaches up and back, extend the leg, and then bend the knee as the arm reaches down and forward. And just notice that sense of softening as everything bends, and then that reaching apart but staying integrated as everything extends. And then as the arm circles down, plant the hand, slide the right knee forward, sit the right hip down. Keep the left foot where it is or cross it over and take a nice easy twist to the left. And then while we're seated upright, you can have some water and go to the next track if you're following along. How's everybody doing? Are you up for one more round? Okay. If you're not up for another round, you can just do whatever you want right now. So this is sort of like the yogi's choice round. Of course, I'll add in some extra stuff, but if there was a movement that you really loved and we get to it, feel free to just hang out there longer, let yourself go off on tangents, add things in, subtract things, or stay with me, whatever you feel called to do. So we'll start by rocking forward and back. And just for the sake of time, we'll really just repeat things one time on this round. And so from the back, circle the arms overhead. Drag the left heel in. Take your side crunch to the left knee. And then extend the left leg and slowly roll over the right side of the body, enjoying that right side body massage. And then bend the left knee, side bend to the right. Extend the left leg, extend the right arm, feel them reach apart, plant the left hand, and slowly roll onto the back, crunching towards the left leg, and then grab behind it and let it pull you maybe immediately up. Maybe you got it. Nice. Bend the left knee, plant the left foot, right hand behind you, push into the left foot, expressing the left side of the body. And then lower the hips and twist to the left. And we'll just do that one more time. So let everything unfold, and then option to tuck the right foot under while the hips are lifted or not. And then flip to your tabletop and take just a couple of pulses. And we're not going to repeat the side hip opener because we're going to have a chance to do it in standing, if you guys want to do it in standing. So from here, walk the hands forward, one hand print, push into the hands, lifting hips up and back. And then slowly lower the knees, drag the hands back. Just one circle here. And then just one quadricep lengthener. As you float forward, step the right foot forward. Lift the arms and just take one nice, easy side bend, noticing if it feels naturally more integrated from the work we've done. And then arms to a big W, twist to the right. Shorten your stance a little bit if you would like. And then slowly lift the left knee up. Reach the left arm up and just take a couple of pulses. So as the knee dips, the left arm reaches up. And then when you feel ready to add on, come up to center, and then as the front knee bends, the left arm reaches forward. And you can go right into those Vira 3s. And the next time you're in Vira 3, option to add on, and this isn't going to be for everyone, stay springy in that right leg, and now let the left arm float back. As the right arm floats forward, slowly play with squeezing the right glute to stack the pelvis. Transitioning from Vira 3 to Ardha Chandrasana. It's fair game if you have strong enough hips. And then reach left hand forward as you re-square the hips down, drop the toes, and come back up to standing. So we've got a few different things happening, and now you get to play. So you can play with the lunges, you can play with the Vira 3s, and you can play with adding in that Ardha Chandrasana. You can try to put it all together, but you don't have to. And there's no right or wrong as long as you feel supported and you're having fun. And now wherever you are, feel free to pause or put 2 feet on the ground, but just take a moment of stillness, like we're playing freeze tag. Freeze! And then let's all put the left foot down if it's lifted. Extend the right leg and start to draw the left heel down. So we're in our Vira 1 stance. Point the left toes mostly forward so it's easy to stabilize the pelvis underneath you. And then soften the right knee and just let the body drip over the right leg. Hands can rest on the leg or on the floor. Bend the knee as deeply as you need to and let the head hang. Stay here, pulse the leg by bending and extending it, or option for Parvrita Trichanasana, bend the right knee, reach the right arm forward, up, back, option to extend the leg a little bit. And just move in slow motion. We did so much on that right leg, and so allow this to feel like a massage. And if it's too intense, drop that back knee and do it the way we did it in the second round, rather. And then the next time the arm circles down, pause, plant the left hand, slide the left knee forward, and extend the right leg in front of you. And just take a moment to sit up nice and tall. You can add in a little twist here, or you can bend the right knee and you can add in a softer forward fold. Or we can meet on the back. So just take a moment to choose your own adventure. And take another breath wherever you are. And then transition onto the back if you're not already there. And from the back, we pause for just a moment. We check in and prepare. My right side is definitely feeling it, so I'm pretty excited to get to balance this out on the left side. Circle the arms overhead, stretch long. Fingertips behind ears, bend the right knee and crunch. And then extend the right leg, roll. Bend right knee, but side bend to the left. Arms can float wider if you'd like. Extend, hand and foot apart, rolling back onto the back. And curl up towards the right knee. And then grab behind the right leg and see if you can do it in one spring of the leg. It's okay if you can't, but it's always fun. Yes, nice. And then plant the left hand behind you, drag the right heel in. Push into the right foot to let the whole right side of the body lengthen while staying integrated. And then set the hips down and twist to the right. And then repeat the lifted motion. Option to tuck the foot under, staying hovering. And then flip to your cheetah pose. And then walk the hands forward. Lengthen through the upper body. For a last down dog, option to extend any amount through the backs of the legs, but keep swaying in the hips so you don't lock anything out. And we're going to skip our kneeling pose because I don't think you need any more work in the quads. So drop the knees, press the hips back to the heels, and then slowly push down into the shins, rolling up. But we'll just step that left foot forward so you can give your quads a little break. You've done enough. And so we'll just side bend over to the left. Take a couple of pulses with the left arm. And then lift the left arm, melt the elbows, big W the arms. Shorten your stance, twist to the left, and lift the right knee. Extend the legs, left arm up. Take a couple of pulses here. So as the knees bend, the right arm reaches up. So you can really feel that sense of lengthening in the right side of the body as the knee dips down. And then when you're ready to move on, from the standing position with the left arm lifted, bend the left knee, drop the arm and swing the right arm forward. And you can stay right here or start to add on those Vira 3s. And the next time you float forward into Vira 3, option to swing the left arm forward, right arm back, and slowly stack the right hip on top of the left, any amount, right? But really feel that left glute working. And then swing right arm forward to return back to Vira 3. Ooh, I conveniently have a table right here. Feel free to take a couple of those or drop the back foot. And we've got our options, right? So you can stay with the standing. You can play with the balancing. And you can also play with the lunging. All pretty hard options. You can also choose something different. Maybe a tree pose if you want something more grounding and stabilizing. We'll just take one more moment to explore. And then freeze. That's the test, right? Because you shouldn't be anywhere that you can't hold in a comfortable way. And then unfreeze, drop the back foot if you need to, and we'll slowly release the right heel down. And then maybe let that bounce on that right foot a couple times until the hips can square. So your stance might be shorter than you're used to, and that's okay. And then soften both knees and slowly melt over the front leg. Hands rest on the leg or the floor. Option to just bend and extend the left leg, or to play with Parvrata Trichanasana. So bend the left knee, reach the left fingertips forward, up, and back. The leg can stay bent, or as the arm lifts, you can extend any amount, but be easy on yourself. Option to drop the back knee and do this from a lunge instead. And the next time the hand comes down, slide the right knee forward, shift the weight onto the right hips, and extend the left leg. You've got your options. You can either twist and just breathe, or you can bend the left knee and just take a couple of waves over the left leg. On the next time you come up to seated, we'll just allow the right knee to open off to the side, and we'll just add a couple of cooling poses before meditation and Shavasana. So if you want to go to the next track, it's a little more chill. It can help you start to wind down. So if there's anything that your body is dying to do in the next 5 minutes, ignore me and have your own fun rolly around time, because your body's warm and you've earned the right to do whatever you want. But sometimes that's overwhelming, and so I am going to invite you to just do some nice, gentle side bends, because that's something we've been working on. So if that sounds good, set up for Parvatajana Shirshasana with the right heel in. You guys all look good. And just gently start to twist over to the right. And bring the left fingertips behind the ear, and just play with those side crunches, not going very deep. It actually seems like impossible to go too deep here, but notice that cross line of the body. And then keeping that strength, this hand can float to the left knee and just sweep the right arm up and over. And now we've got a few choices. You can just pulse in and out like this. It's so nice and therapeutic on that left hip. If you want a little bit more, the next time you float into it, stay there and play with lifting and lowering the left arm like we've done in a couple of side bends. And just notice the sense of integration that becomes available with that simple movement. And then if you want a little bit more here, you can bend the left knee and slowly melt over the left leg. The bottom arm can come inside the calf. You can hold steady, or you can just take some nice, easy arm circles, draping the hand along the floor, circling towards the foot, and then up and back. And so depending on your constitution, you might want to hold still, and that's totally fine. So try to feel what would be the most soothing for you. And then when you're ready to come back up, reach the right arm straight up, push down into the left fingertips, and slowly, easily take a side bend the other way. Option to lift the hips, but you don't have to if your legs are like, I'm not doing any more work. That's okay. And then set the hips down and just take one more nice, easy twist to the right. And we'll switch sides by rocking back on the hips and just ever so gently. I know you guys have all done this with me, but move a little less and a little slower, unless your body really wants it. But think of this as like a soothing massage. Just noticing, like, even though the core is supporting you, a sense of ease and release. And then plant the hands behind you, left heel in, right arm out, and we'll go the second way. And so start by twisting to the left. Bring the right fingertips behind the ears and just take a couple of easy mock crunches to the left. Again, just feeling that cross from the left hip to the right shoulder. And then the next time you crunch, right hand down, pause for a moment in the twist. And then float the left arm up and take a couple of pulses just in and out. I really like to kick down into the leg to float back up. And the next time you come into it, if you want to, slowly reach the right arm up. Oh, this isn't the song. Oh well. And take a couple of pulses. Sorry, I don't know, my playlist got a little mixed up. So this isn't so relaxing, but it's very sweet. And then if you would like to release a little bit more, just soften the right knee, plant the right hand, and just let the body melt, but make sure the joints feel stable, especially the hip socket. Option to draw a few nice easy circles if that left shoulder's not too tired. And then to come back up, kick down into the foot, reach the left arm up. And then slowly lift the right arm up and just take a nice, easy twist to the left. Okay. This is a really nice segue to meditation because all you have to do is fold one leg in and you're ready to go. If you are still listening to music, you can pause. Feel free to have another sip of water. I don't know about you guys, but I worked pretty hard. I'm like thirstier than usual. Or maybe I just didn't drink enough water today. That's possible. So take your time. Find a position that you actually want to be in. And as you come to stillness, just scan the body. And you guys are all experienced meditators, so you've been in this seat a lot. And just notice a sense of, notice the sensation in the legs, in the core. And now the work is over, and just acknowledge what your movement practice has generated. Physically, perhaps there's ease and support. Mentally, notice if it's easier to focus on the present moment and the breath. And then energetically, this is subtle, regardless of whether you feel energy traveling through the nadis. The symptom of energy flowing is a sense of contentment in the heart, or just inner balance. And so if you feel relaxed or content or maybe even happy for no reason, this is an indication that the energetic component of your yoga practice is supporting you. And so just take a moment to be with whatever your practice has generated. And start to observe the gentle rise and fall of the breath. Notice if you can relax and take that standpoint of an observer, not clinging or manipulating, but just soft and spacious. And a very special practice that was given to us by Swami Rudrananda, one of Babaji's teachers, the wish to grow. And this is something I've been feeling a lot and working with a lot in my own practice. And so as you sit here in this simple way, you can start by repeating to yourself, I deeply wish to surrender, open, and grow. And repeating those words is just like the entry point as you try to feel that wish in a very real and profound way. And I feel really lucky to know each of you, so I know that you have a wish to grow. And so try to feel that space within you that has linked you to Shambhavananda Yoga, to these trainings, to your practice. Feel it. I deeply wish to surrender, to open, and grow. And sometimes when I feel that spark start to light, it can be kind of intense, like a laser beam. And if that's familiar to you, see if you can relax and let that laser beam of energy be more like a flowing river. Just becoming really spacious so more energy can travel through you. Rudy said, the wish to grow is the most powerful force in the entire universe. And so as you build that wish inside, you're tuning into something truly cosmic. Mm. If you're having a productive meditation, I encourage you to stay upright. We can absorb our practice from a meditation seat, certainly. Then you're also welcome, of course, to recline in Shavasana and take that softer, gentler approach. Both are wonderful, so really try to feel what would be most nourishing to you without any guilt or obligation. As you start to prepare for the culmination of class, see if you can keep that inner awareness and even any inner flow that you've generated. It doesn't have to only exist on our cushion or on our mat, but we really can connect to that throughout our day. And so just consciously start to transition to seated if you're not there already, and be really gentle and soothing, but see if you can have that contact with that inner cosmic flow. And before we say goodbye, I want to take a moment to honor Diana, who is graduating from 200-hour yoga teacher training tomorrow. Her camera's like a little bit fuzzy, so it's you look like an angel, Diana, because it's this like soft, diffuse light. But Diana is our first graduate of self-paced yoga training, so she's very self-motivated. She did almost the whole training on her own, and then we would have meetups, and it's just been so remarkable to see how much you've grown, Diana. So I can't wait to see your teaching tomorrow, but I wanted to give you a little shout out in class today. And then I know people have to go, so it's totally fine to sign off at any time, but you might have seen in the email that I'm going to try to repeat sequences a little bit more. I know in myself I feel like there's so much potential to get like stronger and more fluid if I would just let myself do something longer than 1 week. So it's going to be an experiment, and I'm really excited, but I'm also really open to feedback. You know, you guys are the reason that I do this, so feel free in emails or after class or whatever to let me know if you like repeating sequences, if it's working, if it's not working. I already have ideas of how to make this sequence better, so it'll always be new and exciting, but then hopefully familiar and enough that we can get more fluid and feel really strong and see how we're growing, right? Where it's like, whoa, that was so hard last week, but it's a little easier this week. So if you've got anything that you want to say, I see that Angeli typed something in the chat box. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, see you very soon and have a wonderful week to come. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow, Diana. See you soon, Deanna. I'm glad you could come today. Hey, Tammy and Angeli. Yeah. Aloha. Wow, that is so exciting. I bet they've been waiting a long time for that.